Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis and Arundel County and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Monday, May 9th, 2022. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. It's May. Why am I still freezing in my house? And I don't even think it's supposed to get out of the 70s this week. The winter that refuses to die, I guess. Anyhow, I hope you had a nice weekend despite the cold and sogginess, and we do have some news, so let's get right into it, shall we? 6 people are recovering in the hospital after a 5-car crash on eastbound Route 50 just before Whitehall Road late yesterday afternoon. We don't have all the specifics on it just yet, but we understand one person may be in critical condition. We will update this story a little bit later this morning as we learn more, so you want to make sure you check back at eyeonannapolis.net a bit later. Friday morning, the Anne Arundel County Fire Department was called to a boat explosion on White Marsh Creek down in Mayo. A 37-foot power boat experienced engine failure, and when the occupants tried to restart it, fumes ignited. Both occupants were able to abandon the vessel and were taken to a trauma center for their injuries, which are non-life-threatening. The DNR is investigating this, and we probably won't have any more information on this because the DNR is investigating it. In some somewhat good news, the Annapolis police have arrested a 20-year-old local man in connection with a shooting in Eastport on April 12th, where a 15-year-old was shot just after 4 p.m. Police said in a videotaped press conference that they filed charges against him the week after the shooting and arrested him the following week in Glen Burnie. So that is good news that we have a bad guy off the street and we have a case resolved, hopefully. CRASC, or the Chesapeake Region Association of Student Councils, has spoken, and pending Governor Hogan's stamp of approval, Zachary McGrath, a Severna Park High junior, will join the Anne Arundel County Board of Education on July 1st, 2022. And unique to this gig is he is the only student member of a Board of Education that has full voting rights in the nation. And I say he, but it's anybody that is elected to the board has full voting rights. So congrats to Zachary, and we look forward to having you bring your perspective to the board. Some grocery news for you foodies out there. Aldi has opened up a 4th store in Anne Arundel County. This one is up in Severna Park at the Robinson Crossing Center on Ritchie Highway. Their other stores are in Pasadena, Hanover, and Severn. Lidl is their closest competitor, and according to the landowner and Lidl, they are still anticipating putting a Lidl on Bay Ridge Road across from the Giant. They are sorting through some permitting stuff and all that with the county right now, so that is still in play. Now, a while back, we also heard and told you that Wegmans had signed a pre-development lease with the owner of the property being developed across Riva Road from the town center. Now, I got this from a friend of mine that works in their land acquisition department, and they always wanted to go there, and they actually wanted to own the property a few years back, but then the county chased them away with all of their ridiculous demands. However, I just heard another rumor that Amazon Fresh may go in there now. And that really sort of surprises me, is why would Amazon put in a competitor to their own Whole Foods across the street? And why such a high-tech store when half of the residences in that community are going to be age restricted? And I know that's presumptuous, so don't get all upset at me. Us older folks can really be techie too. I count myself as one of them. But it just seems odd that they would put such a high-tech store in the midst there, directly across the street from one of their competitors. I do need to hunt that down and see what I can find out. Golfers and Disney fanatics, take note. Upstart low-cost carrier Avelo Airlines will be starting up nonstop flights from BWI to both Wilmington, North Carolina, and Orlando. The new routes will start on June 30th, with Orlando route flying 5 days a week and the Wilmington route flying 3 days a week. Fares start at $59 one way to Orlando and $29 one way to Wilmington. Book it and get more information at aveloair.com, and that is AVELOAIR.com. If you want to do something really unique this weekend, check out A Human. The Anne Arundel County Public Library is having a human library on Saturday. It's going to be at the Bush Library on West Street in Annapolis. You can check out A Human for a 20-minute conversation and chat and learn. The hours are from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and it is free. Difficult questions are expected, encouraged, and returned. It does allow you to ask all of those burning questions of somebody with a really different life experience than you have. In the past, they've had a black woman who grew up in poverty that is now a PhD, a recent immigrant, a gay autistic veteran, and more. It's really a very cool program. I do encourage you to get out there if you possibly can. You can find out more at aacpl.net/human-library. And as we begin to wrap up and are talking about things in the future, here's another one for you. The Annapolis Rotary announced the dates of their 77th annual Crab Feast. And I understand this is the largest crab feast in the world, I believe, but it will be back in person this year. The past 2 years, they've had crabs to go, but it will be at the Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium on Friday, August 5th. Tickets are available at AnnapolisRotary.org. And while not confirmed, this usually falls on the day before the Navy Fan Fest, which kicks off their football season. So you want to put the Crab Feast in ink on your calendar and the Fan Fest in pencil. I do hope that you caught the local business spotlight. Julianne and Karen from When You Love Home Care, a really great idea for many people. Up this Saturday is Bean Rush Cafe, and beyond that, I need to get editing some of the ones that I have already in the can. But definitely keep the suggestions for business spotlights coming, and thank you to Dana, who sent me a great list. Pretty sure we have a bonus pod this week with Stefan Remble, who will be coming to a Ram's Head on stage with one amazing show a little bit later on this month, so you want to stay tuned for that. All right, that is it for the news. But first, a quick thank you to our sponsors for today's Daily News Brief, the Arts Council of Anne Arundel County and their Paint the Town fundraiser, which is coming up this Saturday, Solar Energy Services, and the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long End Foster Company. All righty, Ann Alsina from CovingtonAlsina is here with your Monday Money Report, and maybe she can explain what the hell is up with this yo-yo masquerading as a stock market. And, of course, we do have George Young from DCMDVA Weather standing by with your locally forecast weather. All of that coming up in just a bit.
Join the party at the Westin Annapolis on May 14th for the Arts Council of Anne Arundel County's premier fundraising event, Paint the Town. We'll celebrate 29 years of providing leadership and advocacy for our local arts community. You'll enjoy cocktails, dinner, and live entertainment with special guests Cell Spitfire, Christy Allen, Jonathan Stone, Mike Noonan, and the Annapolis Symphony Academy String Quartet, and more. Get your tickets now at www.acaac.org. That's www.acaac.org. When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Monday, May the 9th. Outside of a snowstorm, the past 2 days were about as bad as the weather can get in the Annapolis region for Mother's Day weekend, but it's in the rear view now, and the week ahead looks much nicer as we return to 70s by Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. Look for cool but sunny highs today with temps low to mid-60s for PM highs, but watch for more breezy winds. Ahead of more sunshine and slightly breezy winds again tomorrow, with highs warming into the 65 to maybe 72 degree range with sunshine, light winds, and temps near 70 Wednesday, ahead of widespread mid to upper 70s and sun Thursday, with more readings expected in the 70s Friday through Sunday, though a few showers are possible Friday with a greater chance of more rain in the region again Saturday and Sunday. Stay tuned for more on that throughout the week, but enjoy the next several days of sunshine as we warm back up to more average temps for this time of year. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DCMDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there today. Stay healthy and be safe. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for regular updates each day, as well as through our website at dcmdvaweather.info. And as always, be sure to download our DCMDVA Weather app on all of your devices from either the Apple or Google App Stores, so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company.
One of the most common questions we get, how do I maximize the value of my home before I sell it? It's a great question. We look at improvements like investments. What is the rate of return? For example, if we invest $5,000 in painting kitchen cabinets and installing granite, how much more will our home sell for? The answer? About $25,000 more. That's a 500% return on investment. Because of returns like this, we have started a program called Investing in You. We know cash is often tight when you're making a move, and we are here to help. We will front you up to $15,000 to invest in refreshing your home before you list it, with the agreement to be paid back once your home settles. Call us today so we can help you maximize your home's value.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-599-1370 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You work hard for your money. Is your money working hard for you? Managing and investing, it can be confusing. Ann Alsina, a financial planner from CovingtonAlsina, has been helping people make sense of it all for over 17 years. Are you ready? Now here's your Monday Money Report.
This is Ann Alsina of CovingtonAlsina with your Monday Money Report. Last week, the Federal Reserve Board met and raised interest rates 0.5%, as expected. The markets reacted with a wild rally, which was then completely wiped out on Thursday. Friday continued the slide and the market was down for the week. Good news from the Fed is that Chairman Powell ruled out sharp increases of 0.75% or more and indicated more gradual increases of 0.25 to 0.5% will be likely at each of the remaining meetings this year. The Fed's current goal is to have interest rates at a neutral position, meaning they neither encourage nor discourage economic investment and purchasing. Achieving this will bring the economy to a so-called soft landing, where excessive inflation is lowered closer to the Fed's long-term goal of 2%. We also saw good news on the jobs front, with 428,000 new jobs in April, greater than the 400,000 expected. We're also seeing continued job changes, as 4.5 million people quit their jobs in March and 6.7 million started new jobs. The number of openings reported per job seeker is still about 2 to 1, which is forcing wages up as employers compete for workers. And that's all interesting data, but what does it mean for the average person trying to save for retirement? In reality, it means very little. A well-diversified portfolio and ongoing regular contributions are your best ways to manage volatility and uncertainty. Given rising rates, pay down variable rate loans like credit cards and some lines of credit. Your action item for the week is to check and see if you've filed for your homestead tax credit. This is a Maryland state program that limits the rate of increase on your property taxes. You can always find more information on our Facebook page or our website at CovingtonAlsina.com. Investment advice offered through Great Valley Advice Group, a registered investment advisor. All performance reference is historical and is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. The opinions voiced in the show are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which strategies or investments may be appropriate for you, contact the appropriate qualified professional prior to making a decision. And if you don't have a financial advisor, come talk to us. This is Ann Alsina with CovingtonAlsina.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. Is all this talk of inflation making you uneasy? Me too, especially the uncertainty. How bad will it eat into my future purchasing power? Well, don't feel helpless because solar energy can give you some financial control. By installing and owning your solar system, you can lock out electricity cost inflation by locking in your electricity price for more than 25 years. Many of our inflation-fighting clean energy systems offset 100% of the annual electricity demands. Customers frequently add electric vehicle charging and backup batteries to their solar projects, providing them inexpensive auto fuel and additional energy security for the home. Let's make 2022 the year that you freeze energy inflation in its tracks by committing to affordable, clean solar energy. Call us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net. But don't wait another minute. Sunshine's a wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.